Okay, I can see that people are still joining, but we'll kick things off. I'll kick off the preamble. We've got a full call, so yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Farmer Office Hours. I'm Jim, the head of ecosystem at Autonomous, and as always, I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for being here, especially those of you joining us live. It's your time and energy that's what keep this network moving forward, and we don't take that for granted. Whether you've been farming since the Genesis block or just set up your first node, this space is for you. Our goal here is simple. We want to keep you informed, answer your questions, and give you a front row seat as we close in on mainnet phase 2. Today, we've got a full house up on stage, so let me do some quick introductions. First, we have Randy, our technical community manager. We also have Rose, our APAC growth lead. Emil, our developer community manager, is also here. We also have Saeed, who, as well as being an outstanding long-time researcher on the project, is also an exceptional coder to boot. And he's the first of our special guests today. Next in that list, we have Blockchain Oracle, our newest ambassador and another programming whiz. And last, but by no means least, we welcome Omega from the Talisman wallet team back with us again. So welcome, everyone. And before we get into it, a quick reminder to follow us on our socials if you haven't already. On X, we have 3 accounts. We've got Autonomous Net. That's where you can get the most updates on our progress. And then we have Autonomous Labs, and that's where we post more technical content developers and engineers are likely to find interesting. And finally, we have Autonomous_ZH, where Rose is translating all our good news into Chinese. You can see we have our Discord, Telegram, and forum links there. They are all in the footer on our website at autonomous.xyz. These collectively are the best places to stay up to date as we progress towards mainnet phase 2. Okay, so here's what's coming up today. We're going to start with Randy's regular network update and hot topics that we've been tracking, not that there are many of them at the moment. Then we'll zoom in on Space Pledged with Saeed, walking us through some deeper analysis ahead of an upcoming article we're going to publish on the subject. We've also got an introduction to a fantastic dashboard project being developed by one of our own developer community members and ambassadors, Blockchain Oracle, and Emil will assist in guiding us through the features. Rose will then share some highlights from our recent Chinese AMA, including the answers to the questions raised. And from there, we'll jump into a quick segment on the Partnership Integration Task Force and some of the new strategic efforts underway. Then comes the fun part, of course, because it will be time for the Cosmic Cultivators prize draw. I'll be joined by Omega, as I mentioned, from the Talisman team to celebrate winners and talk shop about what they've been building lately. And finally, we'll wrap things up with Q&A and some closing remarks, as we always do. So feel free to post your questions at any time in the event stage chat to the right. We'll get to as many as we can at the end. Please just make sure your questions are in English so we can respond clearly for everyone. And that goes double as well if you're watching the restream on LinkedIn, X, or YouTube. Your comments should appear in our console. So if you have a question on one of those platforms, feel free to comment and we'll ferry it over. All right. With that, let's kick things off. Randy, over to you for this week's network update, please.
Thank you, Jim. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, mainnet node count is holding solid right around 1,000. It's 893 today. And Space Pledged is also holding around 500. Last week it was a little over 500. This week's a little less, 491. The latest version, the latest official version is still January 14th. However, we do have a new pre-release version, June 6th, and I'll get into that in just a bit. On the TARS side of things, it's a little calmed down because we're not currently running something like the XDM transfers that we were before. Node count is at 227, which is about the same as last, and Space Pledged almost identical at 2.13. And our latest version there is May 27th, so nothing new since last week's meeting. Next slide. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this new version announcement. Mainnet does have a new pre-release, and we've been encouraging users to start testing as we get closer to phase 2. There are a few improvements here. Improved segment downloading performance during a DSN sync, fixed retrieving multi-piece objects ending in the final segment, upgraded substrate, fixed some incorrectly tracked segments during the DNS, kind of similar to that first one, but fixed some incorrect segments. There's been some proof of time verification improvements, and some proving and verification has also been approved, potentially leading to measurably faster plotting using the CPU. I do encourage everyone to go ahead and give this a test for us. We want to make sure that as we do transition to TGE, that we have all our ducks in a row and any problems identified before we actually start. That would greatly help us. Okay, next slide. Hot topics. Okay, and one more. So as Jim said, we don't really have a whole lot of hot topics, which is actually pretty good. TGE is right around the corner, so what can you do to prepare? Again, helping us test that new mainnet pre-release. No new problems have been reported yet. Hopefully that'll be the case. Several users have noticed a significant decrease in CPU usage, so that's great. And please pay close attention to the announcements in Discord and in the forum. Once the roadmap is complete, we will set a TGA date roughly 7 to 10 days in advance. And you can expect new contests and partnerships to be announced, including exchanges. I know everyone's looking forward to that. That is it for Hot Topics. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks very much, Randy. Yeah, so I guess we could provide a little more kind of color there on the Juno 6 release for mainnet. So yeah, what we're aiming for there is like a more gradual rollout while we monitor things on the back end, and we give everyone ample opportunity to report any issues that they've seen. What I can say is that I've been running it since last Friday. And yeah, I'm seeing like a CPU usage drop from around 60% to around 40%, which is about a third reduce in CPU. So really noticeable. Obviously, it's going to depend on the amount that you're farming, but yeah, I think it's been super solid for me so far, and I dare say we'll get an update on how the rollout is going. But before we mark it as release and ask everyone to move over in preparation for mainnet phase 2, hopefully we'll get an insight on Monday's dev sync. I see Jeremy's in the crowd, so just to add that to the agenda, Jeremy. Thank you very much, Randy. Yeah, and if anyone does notice anything, feel free to post in the farmer chat, which is where we'll pick it up. Okay, next up. So we've had questions recently about trying to gain additional insight into the space pledge calculation. I think it's something that is transparent. You know, the code is in our repositories, in our open source repositories, and the data that you plug into the calculations is all on chain. But Saeed is going to give us an explanation on how it works. So if and you know, we really love to see questions on this. We have the right chap in the up on the stage with us today to answer any questions you might have about how it works. So Saeed, are you ready to give us a run through?
Let's do it.
Lovely.
Okay. Hey guys. So I'm just first remark is that I try to make it simplified. It can get much more complicated than this because lots of other things can get into it, like other math equations and etc. But the gist is very accurate, although we are still gonna see some of the math equations, which they are absolutely necessary in order to get the deep understanding, at least the intuition of how you can do it by yourself too, and how we can verify if the actual number that you're seeing, for example, in Astral is accurate or not. So with this in mind, let's get it started. First slide is just about the intuition. I'm just going to review a couple of things and to see like what do we have right now and where do you want it to go. And at the end, we're going to calculate one of them as a back of the envelope math together. Okay, So first thing is that at every second, the chain is drawing a random challenge. And this challenge is going to be broadcasted to all of the nodes in the network. And let's have this beside. Each farmer that currently is working on the network has pledged amount of storage. And this storage is giving them amount of ticket. So roughly, if we want to speak, one piece is going to be one ticket, for example, right? So right now, each one of the farmers has a certain amount of ticket correlation between the number, basically the amount of storage that they have pledged. We call a ticket is the winner at a round, for example, at 1 second, if this ticket, it sits close enough to a challenge. So remember, like at every second, we do have a challenge broadcasting to all of the farmers in the network. Each farmer has a certain amount of ticket. Each one of these tickets sits close enough to the challenge. That ticket is the winner. What do we mean by this close enough to a challenge? This closeness is measured by a knob that we call as a solution range. And this solution range is going to give us the intuition, basically the amount that the whole network, like how much storage is pledged to the network, right? So we do have 3 pieces of information: the challenge, the ticket, and the solution range to check with if this ticket sits close enough to the challenge or not. The rule of thumb is that among all of the tickets in the board and the network, we only want one ticket to win at every 6 seconds. Why the 6 seconds? Because the 6 seconds is the frequency of block production. So at every 6 seconds, we only want to have one block proposer. So the winner of the ticket, the farmer who have the winner ticket is going to show the ticket. Hey guys, I'm the winner, and I'm going to propose the next block. And at every 6 seconds, we only need one block proposer. So that's how we want the chain to react. Also, can we go to the next slide? Amazing. So with this picture, with that information from the previous slides, let's look at this picture. So let's imagine we have the challenge at the blue line at the middle, and the solution range is placed at the center of the challenge. The challenge divides the solution into two identical halves, the left side and the right side. So remember, we said a ticket is the winner if it sits close enough to the challenge. Actually, we do have two statements here. The ticket obviously should be within the solution range. That's the first observation. And the second observation is that it should be the closest one to the challenge. So based on this picture, we do have 3 potential winners that all of these 3 are within the solution range: the ticket number 1, the ticket number 2, and the ticket number 3. The rest of the tickets are too far from this the challenge and obviously the solution range, so they have no chance at this round. But within these 3 potential winners, the ticket number 1 is the closest one to the challenge. So at this round, the ticket number 1 is going to be the winner, and obviously is going to be the block proposer. Awesome. So let's get it a little bit more deeper with taste of mathematics. If you see, let's imagine this line is a ruler, right? In this ruler, we do have 2 to the power of 64 minus 1 numbers that each one of these numbers can sit basically at the certain place on this ruler. And obviously the width between each one of these numbers is similar to each other. So each ticket is going to be assigned at one point on this ruler, right? And the solution range, we wanted to calculate what's the probability that a ticket can be within the solution range. So if you remember the math from high school, the number of tickets that can fits into the solution range over the total number of tickets that can be exist is going to be our probability. So the probability P is going to be solution range over 2 to the power of 64. Obviously, this solution range can go from 0 to 2 to the power of 64. So the probability can spawn from 0 to 1. Awesome. And more intuition, if this probability goes to 1, it means everybody can be the winner, right? At every second, your ticket is going to be within the solution range, so it's going to be much easier to get elected. And if it's going towards 0, it means it is harder to find a ticket that sits within the solution range and the challenge. So because we wanted to make it harder, the actual probability P is going to be very tiny. It's based on the chance. I'm hiding a little bit more steps, but the result, the implication is going to be the formula second that you see at the down of the page. How do we drive this? So I mentioned that we want to have one winner at every 6 seconds. So the number of tickets multiplied by the probability is going to be 1 over 6, right? So the number of tickets, you can just do a simple math, bring the P to the denominator of this equation. So the number of tickets is going to be 1 over 6 multiplied by P. And we actually derived P is equal to solution range over, or the maximum number, which is 2 to the power of 64. So we do have the number of tickets as 2 to the power of 64 over 6 multiplied by solution range. Awesome. Can we go to the next slide? So we have all the information that we do need to have the total of the number of tickets. So right now, the problem is going to be how we can turn all of this ticket into the storage. That's the part that I'm hiding many things here because it can be very complicated. But the conclusion of the formula, the last formula that you need to turn all of the tickets into storage is as follows. One piece is going to give you, is corresponding to half ticket. The gist is because of the erasure coding that's happening on the protocol. So we do need, we do know that one piece is corresponding to 1 over 2 ticket. So we already calculated the total number of tickets. So if you multiply it by 2, it's going to give you the total number of pieces, right? And each sector is 1,000 pieces. So basically, based on when you have the total number of pieces, you can calculate the total number of sectors. Easy. So if you remember the formula previously, the number of tickets, and if you multiply by 2, is going to give you the number of pieces. And the number of sectors is going, you just need to divide that number over 1,000. And it will give you the total number of sectors. Can we go to the next slide? So let's just quickly calculate how many space is pledged. So yesterday when I was doing the calculation for this presentation, the solution range was this number, 12,440,700,6012. So if you just follow the formula, the number of tickets is going to be the first number, and you can just simply calculate the rest of them consecutively from the formulas. Just need to multiply it by 2. It gives you the total number of pieces. Each piece is 1 megabyte. So the second number that you derived is the total number of size of the space pledged in megabyte. And you can just turn it into petabyte by divided 3 times of 124. And it will give you 461 petabyte. That's it. Maybe you will find this with the some spread between the actual number you are seeing on Astral and the number that you calculated. It is because of you have to use the decimal units to get the actual precision that we are doing on the protocol. But for the quick calculation, if you want to see how much is the space pledge, you just need one number, which is the solution range, and consecutively calculate all of this, and you will get the total space pledge. I hope it was easy to follow.
Okay, thanks, Saeed. Yeah, so I think I get it. I'm actually just going to skip us back a couple of slides to this one. So if I try and really simplify this for me, I think the really short version here would be that the solution range adjusts, and I know that happens every 2016 blocks, and the solution range adjusts to try and get 6 winners in that solution range. And based on whether we get too many or too few, we adjust the solution range, and from the solution range we can derive the total number of tickets across the network. And once we have that total number of tickets, we can work out the storage pledge to generate those tickets. Is that right, or have I got something backwards?
Exactly. Yeah, that's totally right.
Okay, there you go. That's the super short version. So thank you, Saeed. Like that made sense to me. I can see there's some questions about, this is in the code base, but there is actually a pretty good explanation also. I think we got it in the Academy, and also I think there's something in the protocol specs as well. But the Academy, I am pretty sure, has some of this maths already. But this video is going to be saved for posterity. And Saeed, you've got an article as well. Is that
yes,
ready?
And also, yeah, it is ready. I'm gonna post it today. And all of the references to the code base is also available. So everything that you're seeing here, you can immediately see it on the protocol code as well to verify if it's following the protocol or not. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for the insight, Saeed. That's really useful for me. But as I said earlier, if anyone does have any questions about how this works, Saeed is the person who understands it on a really deep level. So it would be a great opportunity to get your questions in. Thank you, Saeed.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Emil and Blockchain Oracle, you're going to be talking us through a new dashboard. I'm not sure how you're going to do this, guys. I need to take my screen share down so you can screen share. Is that right, Emil?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, before giving the floor and mic over to the Blockchain Oracle, let me just briefly do the short intro, and now I'll pass the mic over to you, Blockchain Oracle.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with Blockchain Oracle, he's our amazing ambassador who joined us just a few months ago. But he's no stranger to the network, and you might have heard his name before because he participated and won multiple hackathons that we previously ran and developer-related contests. And for reference, when you become Autonomys ambassador, you go through the education progress, and then, of course, you have your graduation project. It's something that is very unique to each of the ambassador, and kind of they are basically the something that they look forward to when they go through the apprenticeship period. And Blockchain Oracle came up with a very, very interesting idea. So I would love to give the floor and mic over to you, Blockchain Oracle, so we can walk us through your amazing application.
Okay, let me just try to share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen and if you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, we can hear you well. We can see the screen.
Okay, just a brief introduction. My name is Abubakar Jimo. People on chain call me Blockchain Oracle, and I'm, of course, the creator of NetSpace Tracker. Just a fun fact, I like building, most especially on the blockchain and in Web3. I'm also like in the ambassador program of the Autonomous. So it means you'll be seeing me here often helping the community. So before we say what NetSpace Tracker is, let's talk about the problem. As the autonomous network grows, it's very crucial to have a simple and clear way to see what is happening. Before, you have to get pieces of information from different sources to understand the network health and performance. I built NetSpace Tracker to be one-step dashboard for real-time network analysis, making it easier for everyone to monitor the ecosystem. So let me take you through the demo of what NetSpace Tracker looks like. And Emmy, can you help me drop the link to the chat box so people can actually see what it looks like? So I called NetSpace Tracker the real-time visualization analysis for network analysis and growth. There's a lot of stuff going here, so let me just walk you through it. You can decide to choose your network if you want to go to mainnet Cyrus, mainnet Cyrus and Germany. You can check the node types. The node type simply means that people that are running on CLI nodes and space arcs. You can also check the operating system distributions, which says 60% of people run on Linux, 1% run on Mac, and 39% on Windows. This is for mainnet. And I decided to do like a graphical interface to make you understand all of this better. For the next space, you can check graph from since launch, ecosystem growth, or the last past days. If you want to check for difficulty heights, node count, we can also do that. And if you think you don't like the way the graph looks, you can change it to LAN or bar. I'm actually working on something in order for you to get real-time data here. This data are actually from the past previous data. But something I'm working on is ability for you to collect real-time data. Let's move on to network status. Like the maths side was talking about earlier, there was a lot of petabyte storage. So I think you can come here to learn more about petabytes, kilobytes, and the way all of the storage works. And Autonomous and Tyrus have actually have some efficient growth quite well. So I decided to break this down into Genesis, ecosystem, market correction, and protocol upgrades. These are the growths over the world. So you can come check like if you want to know what's going on. And what I'm most excited about is node performance. This is something that I'm actually bringing on. The ability for you to search for a node and get its pledge space, its uptime, and its response time. This is something I'm excited to, ship. And once it's ready, I'll let you guys know about it. And also, like I said, I do care about the community, and this is what I'm building for the community. You can come here to have all the resources of Autonomous about the getting started tools and developer tools. And of course, you can come add to calendars, the weekly meets on Wednesdays. If you decide to subscribe to all, you can add to your calendar. And if you do care about the stack, I can attach the GitHub repo. You can check it. It's open source, and although I would love contributions too. What are the future plans for NetSpace Tracker? I do want this to be like a custom alert that user can get email notifications or Telegram notifications when there's a network downtime. And there's a lot of other stuff still that I have plans for this. So I do encourage you all to go to NetSpace Tracker. Let me know what you think. And I would like to express my gratitude to the Autonomous team, Vexal and Emily for their endeavor support. If you do have a question, you can let me know in the chat box. That's it for me.
Thank you so much for your presentation and for showing off your beautiful, amazing application, Blockchain Oracle. Yeah, I will be honest, the first time I checked out the website, I probably spent at least 30 minutes on it, just looking through all the interesting charts, just changing the way they appear on the screen. And yeah, it's really, really amazing to see the dashboard. And what I especially love is that you also use the historical data, so users can see clearly the participation levels on the Gemini 3H network, on the Taurus test network, and on mainnet. And it makes it really, as I mentioned, like one place to just simply track all the network stats, health of the network. And I'm really glad to hear that you're working on some new features. Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing them live.
All right.
Thanks, Emil and Blockchain Oracle. So yeah, absolutely wonderful. We circulated your NetSpace tracker internally. I think not just developer community member, ambassador, but also hackathon winner as well. Really great to have you here with us, and I'm going to be following news about your work on the NetSpace tracker going forward. So thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Okay, right, we're going to move on next to Rose. I'm hoping we've got our technical gremlins sorted out because we're going to do a recap. So recently, Jeremy and Ved, one of our senior protocol engineers, participated in an AMA in Discord. I think one of the conclusions was that it's a little bit too chaotic when lots of people are excited and asking lots of questions at once. But there were some solid questions asked, and Rose is going to give us a rundown on those questions and the answers we provided. Rose, are you there? Okay, I can see you're unmuted. Can anyone else hear Rose? I can see her box is lighting up, but I can't hear her.
No.
Okay. Well, the show must go on. Rose, might be worth just checking if you've got your push to talk or voice activity. That's the thing that usually trips people up. And I think it can even reset as well when you switch when you switch inputs, which is super counterintuitive. Oh, sorry, Rose. I can see you lighting up, but I can't hear you. Okay, I will try, and I'm not going to do Rosie's section justice here, but I will give it a try. Okay, so one of the big questions, of course, was audit progress. And obviously, so one of the key modules that remains under audit is domains pseudo functionality. So everyone was keen to understand, get a greater insight into how the audit's going. Jeremy did produce a really great, extensive engineering report. It's on the forum. If you look for it, it's in the announcements. So yeah, timing on audit is key module remaining the pseudo on domains functionality. If other parts are ready earlier, we may consider a phased release of audited components. So we need to make sure that we have the absolutely critical items audited to make sure that the protocol is secure before we launch mainnet phase 2. And that remaining audit is expected to take 2 to 4 more weeks. If completed successfully, phase 2 mainnet internal testing and TGE simulation will follow. Testing will take around 1 week. So that is in flight at the moment. I actually posted some logs from a DevNet node that goes through effectively the mainnet phase 2 runtime upgrade. We are still testing enabling transfers and also domain deployment, so that's still happening, but it is underway. So yeah, watch this space. GTM strategy and exchange readiness, another big question, or another common question. As Rose has got in her notes there, the GTM strategy is ready and will be deployed in sync with audit completion and the mainnet /TGE rollout. Exchange side campaigns are already planned and ready to go. So yeah, we have not, the roadmap updates that we've provided since January, the conversations with exchanges have been ongoing for months, and there's a lot of planning that goes into it. Multi-exchange launch. TGE and phase 2 launch will occur once both audit and exchange prep are finalized. The team plans to announce the date 7 to 10 days in advance. Could be less days. It could be more days. We will announce as soon as the date's set. As soon as the information is set, then the community will be the first to know. There is no sitting on information. It goes straight from our brains to your ears. Incentives and storage. Okay, when will Game of Domains rewards be distributed? Will early bug reporters will be rewarded? So all Game of Domain rewards, and this is for anyone who's got any questions about this. This is all laid out in the forum posts related to this, and Rose has very kindly translated them all to Chinese. If something is unclear, please do ask on the forum thread in Discord, and we'll publish an update. We'll publish a clarification. So yeah, all Game of Domains rewards, including Trials of Innovation and bug report bonuses, will be distributed at the end of the full campaign season, as we stated in the forum posts that lay out the rules and mechanics of the initiative. The pledge calculation logic is transparent. This is a timely answer, but displayed node counts may differ due to optional telemetry reporting and variations in pledge space per node. The full calculation is open source with all input values available on chain. Users can also verify their own space pledge by checking whether they are receiving tokens proportionally. So a few things to unpack here. Obviously, Saeed's just given us a great rundown on how the maths work. Then I dumbed it down to my level, so hopefully that makes sense to everyone. So at one end of the scale, you've got my explanation, and at the other end of the scale, you've got the code and the on-chain values. And there are various checkpoints in between. Like Saeed's explanation, I think, was very approachable. We also do have explanations of how, I'm sure there's one in the Academy. I'll try and find the link later on. Yeah, so displayed node count. So we know that not everyone is able to report to the telemetry server, or maybe they don't want to report to the telemetry server. So it's not a true indication of how many nodes we actually have online. And of course, not all nodes pledge the same amount of space. So despite node count decrease, you know, the on-chain space pledged is the most accurate way of measuring the on-chain storage power. Yeah, and yeah, the last item there, users can also verify their own space pledged. So I didn't realize this, but Blockchain Oracle has got a tool in his dashboard to do that. And I know that Charlie, another one of our ambassadors, has recently completed some analysis on the on-chain data. So working out what you know, proportional to the number of rewards that a wallet is earning, how, you know, taking a stab at how much space should be pledged based on the current total space pledged. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, ask a question and I'll try and explain it a little more at the end. But yeah, so we've got multiple streams of effort here, multiple ways of visualizing, multiple ways of verifying that on-chain that space pledged on the network. But again, you know, if it's still unclear, please do ask the question. Oh, okay. Hopefully I didn't butcher it too badly, Rose. Thank you very much for compiling the slides. Yeah, we'll move on now because we're going to invite Emil back to talk a little bit about something that we've recently done internally. It's this stage of the project. We have strong supply through the 500 petabytes that our farmer network is pledging. And Emil's going to tell us how we are approaching building out the demand side, so the users of that pledged space. Emil.
Yes. All right. Yeah. I would love to share some information about the activity that's been happening behind the scenes and Autonomous Network in the past months, as Jim pointed out. And that's the creation of the GTM task force team. The goal of the team is to work on meaningful partnerships, ensuring that our unique consensus mechanism and your participation in this highly distributed network lead to meaningful use. If we can go to the next slide, please, Jim. Almost everyone at the Autonomous team is involved with integration and partnerships to some extent. And now 7 team members' efforts are dedicated to work primarily on integrations and partnerships. Autonomous network is a foundational layer of AI 3.0, as you know. And at the core of the network, it's you, farmers, who pledge the space and fuel one of the most distributed storage networks on the planet. And we know that this storage network is unique. It's permanent, it's verifiable, and very scalable. And the whole system inherits security of our consensus without relying on any third parties, pinning services, or off-chain trust layers. And over the last years, we've built the network and you've helped us test it. Through rigorous testing, we've polished our storage-related products. Like AutoDrive has a dedicated, very easy-to-use front end, an excellent API, and very clean and user-friendly SDK. We've produced and continue to polish our developer resources, like our developer hub that has all up-to-date information about building on the autonomous network. But now it's time to ensure that our storage is actively being used for meaningful purposes. With this in mind, we have created a partnership outreach team and produced a marketing one-pager, which you can see on the left. It captures our proposition values, history, vision, and our technical one-pager that you can see on the right that describes AutoDrive from A to Z, from how consensus works and what makes it possible to have immutable data to all the things around SDK that are required to get you started. And it's really an exciting time to be a part of our network and an exciting time to experience how our network storage is starting to be used by the ecosystem partners. You can probably already see the significant increase in the information coming to Autonomous DSM through AutoDrive if you visit the portal, AI3.storage. And you can expect much more to come. The integration task force team is having tens of conversations every week, reaching out to dozens of potential ecosystem partners and identifying unique storage-based use cases for every project that benefits partners' products and ecosystem. But as we approach the launch of Mainnet Phase 2, these partnerships are becoming vital. And if you have some connections to any projects that might benefit from using decentralized, permanent storage, don't hesitate to reach out. This ensures the success of the network, our shared success. I'm looking forward to hearing your suggestions and to sharing some progress made by the GTM task force team in the upcoming weeks. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Emil. Yeah, and I just want to. So this has been something that's been discussed in the community today. Actually, how can you help? So yeah, if you do want to help, beyond just farming or whatever your current whatever your current activity with the network is, then yeah, if you know of a project that needs permanent on-chain storage, let us know. We can take it from there. If you can give us a contact or a warm lead, even better. Okay. Thank you, Emil. That was really great. We are up against it with time, which is unfortunate because now, of course, it's time to move on to the Cosmic Cultivators prize draw. So, yes, the moment many of you will have been waiting for. It's time for us to, let me just get my windows lined up, to find out who our winners are going to be. So over the last few weeks, we ran a themed campaign in partnership with Talisman to encourage farmers and wallet users to explore new tools, deepen their connection with Autonomous, and claim that verified Talisman Terraformer role. I can see some of you in the audience. Only 28 made it through to the final role list. So for those who did, your chances of a prize are very good today. And joining us today is Omega from Talisman. Omega, welcome, and thanks for being part of this cross-ecosystem initiative. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi there, Jim. Hi there, everyone. Yeah, great to be here. Excited to see the results of the campaign.
Okay, wonderful. So, first of all, what was your impression of the Cosmic Cultivators campaign? I know that you were running a quest on the Talisman quest board, which I'm going to dig the link out for in a sec. So, did you see like a notable uptick in users? Did you see plenty of people attacking the quest on your quest board?
Yeah, we did see some good activity. I don't have the final numbers right in front of me, but we did see good activity there, and also on our socials as well. So that was nice to see.
Great stuff. Okay, right. So here's the Talisman quest board. So if you got into the Talisman ecosystem on the Autonomous side and you want to carry on the party, check out the quests there. There's a really great progression, which is something you might be excited to take part in. And yeah, okay. So Amiga, so how do you see Talisman continuing to support farmers and builders in the Autonomous ecosystem? Obviously, you support Substrate and EVM wallets. How do you see kind of your support of our network developing over time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, when it comes to amplification, we've done a good job on both sides in terms of supporting your project and you supporting ours with the quest and the campaign and so forth. Another thing we can look into would be some wallet mining or solo staking options that we could potentially integrate into the wallet. And so with AI3 and so forth. So that's something we can definitely explore going forward.
Wonderful. That's definitely a conversation I'm going to hold you to, Omega, in our group chat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'll be happy to have that conversation as well. So I've been hanging out a little bit in your Discord as well, and one of the things that popped up the other day was something that really kind of caught my eye. So I see that there's a lot of folks in your Discord who are excited about Talisman vaults. Can you give us a quick idea of what's coming there and how it might might connect with networks like ours?
Yeah, absolutely. So so we were happy. We're very closely connected to. We were originally a Polkadot Substrate wallet, and so with Autonomous being built on Substrate, that works really well with the recent upgrade of Polkadot vaults to version 7.0.0. And so that is a Polkadot vaults. For those who aren't familiar with it, is like a cold wallet solution, air-gapped wallet that you can use typically on an older mobile device that you don't use anymore. You can essentially convert that phone with that app, air-gapped, meaning in airplane mode, into a cold wallet. And so Polkadot vaults just recently upgraded to make it a lot simpler to use with the UI and in terms of not needing to update metadata every time. They really simplified the process there and made it a lot quicker. And so they offer support not only for Polkadot and Dot, but also for Substrate chains as well. And so Jim, it follows that assets on Autonomous would be compatible there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our consensus chain is Substrate based, so that is definitely something I'm going to be chasing you up for, Amiga. So if I understand correctly, Vaults is like an extra layer of security that you can apply to your wallet. Have I got that roughly right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like being able to put your assets in a wallet that's not connected to the internet, and so it's secured in that way. So yeah, we can definitely explore a little bit of promotion around the idea of holding your AI3 or other assets safely in Polkadot vaults as well.
Okay, excellent. And I'm sure that there are some farmers out there who might want to take you up on that offer as well. So an air-gapped extra layer of security.
Yeah.
Last thing I just wanted to touch on is, we see Talisman's evolving fast. And I do want to just ask you about your swapping and staking features, and how, again, this is another avenue that we're going to want to explore. I think as we launch mainnet phase 2 and we introduce staking on operators. So how does that work?
Yeah, so typically we've had this great feature of cross-chain swaps, which allows you to swap different assets across different chains, say from Ethereum to Polkadot and Substrate chains, for example. or for different L2s as well, EVM chains, and so or even on networks like BitTensor or like Tau. And so that's a pretty great feature we've had typically in a separate web app that we have called the Portal, the Talisman Portal, which has been a great app for us for some years now. But we're porting over a lot of that functionality now directly into the wallet extension. And so now you can stake and do cross-chain swaps directly from within the wallet, which is pretty cool, making it a lot easier for users, not needing to open up a new tab or anything like that. And so yeah, that's kind of streamlining the process for us. In terms of how that might apply to Autonomys, like the routes that we use are with certain providers like StealthX, SimpleSwap, ChainFlip, etc. So if AI3 or any other assets related get listed with those providers, they would then be available, in our UI for the cross-chain swaps, for example. Or if we introduce staking for AI3, that would be available right in the wallet through our staking feature.
Okay, and these all add up to one thing, which is like reducing friction for users of the wallet when they're trying to it's not necessarily the most streamlined or least awkward process. Maybe using Polkadot.js to run some of these things. So this is all about improving that UX, and making things easier.
Oh yeah. Just generally speaking, yeah, we've always been up there in terms of making Polkadot and substrate chains a lot more usable and a lot more user friendly. So that's for sure.
Wonderful. And we've got plenty to talk about, Omega. So yeah, I'll be pinging you in the chat at some point to chase up about swapping and staking and vaults. I think actually our CTO is interested in taking a look at your vault solution. Thanks, Omega. Because thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll keep the conversation going for sure.
Cool. Right. Okay, so let's get into it. We've verified wallet activity, Astral linkage, and Discord roles. Every verified terraformer gets one entry into the random draw. Let's have a quick recap of what's up for grabs. So there's that $1 grand prize of $500. 10 first runners up of $100 each, 10 second runners up of $50 each, and of course you all have that exclusive coveted Discord role. The process of selecting winners will be executed through Wheel of Names. Hopefully everyone's familiar with that. This allows us to transparently pick winners live on the call. We're going to select winners starting with the biggest reward and working our way down. I'm going to share that winners list on Discord and the forum shortly after the call. And everyone on the winners list will receive a short eligibility form to complete before distribution. Right. Let me just reorganize here quickly, because I need to share this screen now. So I'm hopefully you can all see that. I don't want any questions of fairness later on. Okay, if someone could just give me a thumbs up to make sure that you can see it. Actually, I can see it on the stream. Okay, splendid. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to use Wheel of Names here. So let's kick it off. Let's find out who that all-important first winner of $500 is going to be. That's exciting. And it's Gremlin. Okay, I think Gremlin's actually in the audience. Yeah, Gremlin 6580. Well done. $500. You were going. I'll provide next steps at the end. Right. So we are incredibly tight on time at the moment. So the next winner is going to be the first of our $100 winners, and it's Vexar. Oh. Our lead ambassador, Vexar. Well done. Excellent. Okay, moving on. I am going to try and get through these as quickly as possible, guys, so we've got some time for Q&A. William, well done. $100 coming your way. Okay, El Val, you've also won. I think you're in the audience today. Oh, Penguin, so close. It's Roman D. Rob or Roman Rob. Well done. Congratulations. So this is going to be our fifth $100 prize winner. And it's Penguin. He's back. Okay. Awesome. Well done, Penguin. CJ Stanley, active in our Russian channel. Okay, well done. $100 coming your way as well. Okay, Nose Love. I think there's Tom Nose Love as well. So I see you popping up in our general chat. $100. Okay, Dong. Dong 1594. Book Swap Steve. Okay, so this is going to be the last of our $100 winners, if I've got this right, because we have 10 results and this is the 11th. It's Memo. Well done. Okay, so everyone I just mentioned has won $100, and now we're into the $50 prizes. So we need 10 more. Late to the party. Congratulations, 50 USDC. Oh, I just ticked off Mokas. Busyware, you're in with $50. Shakedown, well done. I think Shakedown's Discord tag is completely different to Shakedown. Ramo, double underscore. $50 coming your way. I was dreading this one. Ty, we should. Okay. Poik, I'm calling you. $50. Well done. Where are we? Okay, we're 16. We need 5 more. 4 after this one. Bad Fish. $50. Nako Turk, one of our very long-term community members. $50. Reborn. Okay, 2 more. Nearly there. Cocaine 8515. Well done. Just sneaking in there. Okay, the last one. Is it going to be? It's Mackie Crypto. Okay, right. So we can see here all on video. Gremlin won the $50, and if I've got it right, these are going to be the $100 winners, and then down in the bottom it's going to be the $50 winners. I will double check everything, and I will make sure that everyone gets tagged as they should be in Discord. And I want to say again a special thanks to the Talisman team who helped us put this together. It's been a great initiative. Okay, right. So, yeah, congratulations to everyone who won. Let me just quickly flip back. Okay, and right, okay, we're back. Cool. So, yeah, Cosmic Cultivators, really great. I want to thank everyone who took part, whether you farmed one reward or, you know, you participated on all the associated Zealy quests, the Talisman quest board. We're really glad you joined us on this journey. And Omega, I think he's ducked out. But I want to say that it won't be the last time that our paths cross. Talisman and Autonomous seem pretty aligned on where Web3 needs to go, and that substrate background is something that there's real synergy between our projects. If you're a winner, keep an eye on announcements, because we're going to be in touch with next steps. And with that, it's time for Q&A. Okay, like I know we're at time. We're 2 minutes over, guys, but let's see if we can answer some questions here. Okay, so I can see Penguin asked, is there a roadmap for phase 3? And Jeremy's replied, of course, yes, there is. Ching Lizzie, Talisman wallet, if there are any issues with use, where can I provide feedback? So I know that I believe the official instructions suggest that you report any issues in their Discord, Ching Lizzie. If you're struggling, I can help with ferrying stuff across. I do believe that to give them enough information to act on, you might need to go into settings and turn on a feature that allows you to see some debug information. Okay, inside the auto drive, the stored data is uploaded all at once. Cannot be modified or deleted. So I'm not sure if anyone's responded to you here. So Ching Lizzie, so what you can do is auto drive supports encryption. So if you want to obviously, if you store something permanently on chain, it's there forever. It wouldn't be an immutable permanent storage otherwise. But what you could do is encrypt it and burn the key. I'm not sure if we've got something that will kind of something in the works, a feature that would make that a little smoother, or some sort of more streamlined UX around being able to do that. But yeah, so deleted is one thing, modified is another thing. So I don't think we've got this yet. I'm happy to be corrected, but there obviously what you could do is take an approach where you can save the differences, a bit like source control works, if you're familiar. So there is a way to version your files. So there is potentially a way to modify your files. Yeah, so I think there's a couple of bits of signal there that maybe we should share our thoughts on how that might work. Right. If you do have a question that hasn't got a question mark, feel free to ask it at the end. Pascal, may I ask how many team members from India? Odd question, but I can see that Randy has provided a link to our team. You can find us all on LinkedIn if you want a deeper understanding of our team makeup, who we are. It's all out there in the open and public. But if you don't get the information you need, feel free to ask Pascal. Jan, who is your incubator, if that is public information? I'm not sure. Incubator, I need some more context there, Jan or Jan. Feel free to ask the question again with a bit more information, or even you can DM me if you prefer. Warrior Node, when will the audit be completed? The question that everybody wants to know, of course. We are waiting for that final feature to be audited. We don't have an answer, Warrior Node. And actually, I see Randy's given you a great answer. We don't have a specific date. And more importantly, if we did say we expect it to take X days, and then the audit comes back with a red mark, and it says, hey, we need to fix something, and then we fix that and we introduce a bug, and the fix for that needs an audit. We don't want to give you a date that's inaccurate, but that is the process. Hopefully you can understand why we can't give you a date at the moment. Okay, I can see lots of congratulations. Yeah, congrats, guys. Gremlin, CJ Stanley. That was pretty cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm not getting the joke about Livovsky. Maybe someone can explain it to me. Bing Bang. Thank you, Talisman. Yes, thanks, Talisman. Right, and then Jeremy's explained that like feature requests, it's a high signal for us. What is actually useful. We don't have infinite engineering resource, so it's critically important that we're focusing on things that people really need and is going to drive adoption of our network. So please do let us know. You can raise an issue, you can request a feature multiple ways. If you need guidance, ask in Discord and we will get you lined up. Ching Lizzie says okay, so hopefully that made sense about the whole Talisman Discord. Again, if you're struggling, I know that some in the community do have problems with some social platforms, give me a shout and I will try it and assist. But I believe the first thing I'm going to need is some debug information where you're seeing the error. Okay, guys, did I miss any questions?
I think you got them all, Jim.
Oh, splendid. Okay, guys. Well, I really appreciate everyone staying late. We did have a lot to pack in today, but before we wrap things up, I want to take a moment to share a couple of milestones that are worth celebrating as a community collectively. So last week we passed 3 million blocks on mainnet, a huge achievement that speaks to the longevity and resilience of the network. We are also on the verge of crossing 10,000 commits to the subspace repository. That is the beating heart of the network, where your CLI, the node code lives, where the core logic of Space Acres runs, and where years of engineering effort are encoded line by line. These are more than just numbers. They're the story of steady open source progress, and they reflect all the people building, testing, and contributing to Autonomys every single day. Saeed, Jeremy, all the engineers, Ved, who was on that technical AMA. As always, we couldn't have done this without you, of course, our community of farmers, explorers, and builders. We know things haven't always been smooth sailing. There have been questions, adjustments, and challenges along the way, but that's part of what makes this real. We're building something meaningful, and that requires taking the time to get it right. If you haven't yet upgraded to the latest Juno 6 mainnet build, now's the time. Every node, every block, every vote moves us closer to a successful mainnet phase 2 launch. And I know that's what everyone wants. That's what team wants. That's what community wants. That's what everyone involved in the project wants. And don't forget, of course, on a similar vein, the Watcher's Oath is live. If you're the kind of person who spots what others miss, we want you testing edge cases, watching the logs, and helping us secure the protocol. There is 100,000 AI3 up for grabs, and even more importantly, your could shape how we launch. Very important. And oh, bing bang, you found the emoji. Well done. And I think it's going to really snap into focus once we're ready to launch stage 1 as well. We've also, of course, got big updates coming soon. So if you're not already plugged into our announcements channels, now's the time. And speaking of being plugged in, please do continue to interact with and share our announcements across all socials. Every retweet and like helps us ensure mainnet phase 2 is going to go off with as much exposure as we can collectively muster. Now is the time to start building that momentum. Finally, thank you again for spending your time with us today. Whether you're farming a few gigabytes or running multiple nodes on Auto EVM, you're part of this story. And together, we're getting closer to the future we all want to see. So, as we bid you goodbye today, keep an eye on our socials for future announcements. We look forward to seeing you at our next event. Until then, keep farming, keep questioning, and as always, stay connected. Thanks, everyone.